The strategy I chose was the interactive read-alouds. I use this in my classroom, and my students absolutely love read-alouds. I previously taught second grade for about 8 years, and then this is my second year in teaching fourth, and I have found that my students just absolutely love that time where I am reading aloud to them. They love it, and it's probably one of the only times where my students are like, "Yeah, don't stop reading. What happens next? What happens next?" And they just get so excited and engaged. It's just so fun and rewarding to see as well. So this is definitely one of my all-time favorite reading strategies. And I typically use this time. I do the interactive read alouds when we are coming back in from lunch. So after lunch is a good time to just come back in. We're listening to the story, having discussions about the story, and just kind of getting reacclimated to being in the classroom and getting back to learning time. So in the book, it states on how to use the strategy is to first introduce the reading material. And with my students, they're a little bit older, and so I always try to use chapter books. So we're usually reading something, we're sticking with a book for a while as we read it during that read aloud time. While the teacher is reading, you need to periodically stop, check for understanding, discuss what's happening in the book. You can even have students make predictions about, what do they think is going to happen next, or what's going to happen in the story. And then if there's any confusing parts that you notice as you're reading, you can help to clarify that for the students. So sometimes if I'm reading, apart from the book where I think the students may not be as familiar with the concept, or maybe there's some words in there that I think may be a little confusing for them, I will stop and we'll address, what does this word mean? We'll also talk about what kind of do a recap of like, okay, so what is happening right now in the book? Where is this character going, or what struggles are they facing? And then we can just have those discussions to just do a quick check-in. And doing this, my students are just always so engaged, and they just really enjoy this time, and it's a great way to keep them active in the reading process. Even after reading aloud, you can have the students engage in activities related to the reading. One of my favorites is to just pull in like a quick write. So set the timer for a couple of minutes, however many minutes you feel is appropriate, and then the students can write about a topic, or write about a prediction, or maybe kind of summarize what they just read about. And it's a great way to integrate that writing into the reading, especially since we have been so engaged in the reading and they're engaged in the conversations. It's usually pretty easy for them to just get right into writing, and it's great to see. Interactive read-alouds, they can be for all learners, no matter the grade level. It focuses on and helps to build oral language, comprehension skills, and can be used across the content areas. It's also great for modeling good fluency. And as the teacher is reading, the students are hearing what good fluency sounds like. Plan how to use the book in class. So think about where you will need to stop and prompt a discussion with the students. So kind of planning ahead on, maybe what kind of activities you want to bring in, what would be best to maybe help with student understanding. So just kind of planning ahead about what you're reading for that day. Be sure to activate background knowledge. This is going to help encourage student engagement as well when they know a little bit more about what the content is that you're reading about. And then after reading, they can just engage in different types of activities related to the reading. So when can you use interactive read-alouds? I mean, it can be probably almost any time throughout your day. Some ideas are after lunch, if you're focusing on literature, doing a thematic unit, or even for a reading workshop. But I have found that no matter when, whether we're doing it after lunch or maybe just at the end of the day, it's kind of like a wrap up. My students are just always so engaged, and they absolutely love interactive read-alouds.